Hey, what's up guys, Mongo here, and if you are looking for a tip and trick video, this is not it. You can click away if you want. It's not going to hurt my feelings. Excuse me, hold on one second. Yeah, I had to clear my throat. So, I was watching somebody else's YouTube stuff, and man, it really got me thinking about something in my childhood I wanted to kind of, talk to you guys about. So, it was Nobody Epic. He does this, awkward situation thing. It was really funny, talking about sleepovers, stuff like that. And although this is not a sleepover type story, it does have something to do with a little bit what he was talking about when naked ladies. My dog is fighting itself. Okay, enough about that. Anyway, so when I was younger, I had this, the longest place I've ever lived in one place. Did that make sense? The longest time I ever lived in one place was about 7 years. In a little tiny place called Del Rio, Texas. Okay, little tiny place, little itty bitty tiny, right? Well, right across the street, we had obviously neighbors, like everybody had. But my older sister and the older female daughter person were like best friends, right? You know, from the other neighbor's house. They were like best friends. They hung out all the time, and they had a, like a younger daughter that was my age, right? And I'm obviously a dude, she's obviously a chick, and at the time, man, I couldn't even tell you what grade it was. Probably anywhere from 1 to 4. No, like 2 to 5. No, 1 to 4. I don't know. But in that time frame, when you're a kid and you're into chicks, you're just getting into chicks, she was a hottie. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but she was a hottie. Right now, that sounds extremely perverted to say because, obviously, if I looked at a picture of it now, I'd feel completely dirty. But that's not the point. Obviously, we're, comparing ages here. So, she used to come over all the time. We'd hang out, and, we'd play, I don't know if you guys remember this. I don't know if any of you guys played this. Maybe I was from a slightly more poor household where I didn't have video games and stuff. But I played a game called House. And this was a game where you and your friends or your family members, when you had no friends around because they were grounded or whatever, would get together and pretend like you were a grown-up. Side note, if any of you guys are really young and want to play this game, stop, because being a grown-up sucks. Actually, no, keep doing it, because how you play House is nothing like real life. So it's actually making grown-up type life seem really cool. So, keep playing it. That's cool. So anyway, it was just me and her. My little sister, I don't know what she was doing. She always used to play with us. This is sounding like a really bad commentary, but I don't care. My older sister would play with us. Even though she was like 5th or 6th grade or something. She's 4 years older than I am, so whatever that would be. Man, and so it's just me and her. We're playing in a room. And we decided, generally, this is going to make me sound completely lame. Generally, I played, when I was a child, the dog. So let that sink in. I'm a human child that wanted to play a dog. I don't know why. I just figured the dogs were treated really nice, and they just got to roll around on the floor and just have a good time, and I'm on my hands and knees like a little child, like a little, I don't know what's going on, right? Well, this time she convinced me to play a different role, and that was the father figure, which I was never good at. And in fact, whenever we played House, I didn't have any brothers, so we didn't have a father figure. That's not something we generally played on, and I don't really know why. But anyway, so okay, I'm like, cool, you're hot. This is awesome. Let's do this. I'm the dad. And this must have been a Sunday, I assume, because she was in this nice white dress. Either that or she just dressed up for the Mongo, if you know what I mean. Like right here, all up in this. Little 2nd grade, 6, 7, 8-year-old self. I don't know, man. But she's wearing this white dress. She was like, well, I'll be the bride. You'll be the husband. Let's get married. All right, cool. Yeah, we're gonna play House and we're gonna get married. This is fun, right? Well, when you're in elementary school, that seems super fun. And let me tell you, it was. Okay, so there we are. We do the marriage. We do it in my room, obviously. We're both in my room. We're hanging out. We do the marriage. We do like the peck kiss type situation thing that happens. And, well, to us it was a peck. It was just like, oh, okay, cool, now we're married. And then there was like this long, extremely awkward pause where we both just kind of looked at each other and were like, and I even remember saying, like, well, what do we do now? And this girl, as young as she was, said, "Oh, now we do what the grown-ups do." And we proceeded then to undress and get under the covers, the sheets, if you will, of my bed. Completely naked, not knowing what we're supposed to be doing, but this is what the grown-ups did, so this is what we did, right? Mind you, my door is still cracked because I'm a young kid. We're not allowed to close the door, especially with ladies around. You know what I mean? So we're laying there naked, and I just remember very vividly that I was like, this is weird. This is completely weird. And what I remember after that was she lifted up the covers and looked down and said, "Wow, you look different than I do." And I said, "Well, that's weird." And I lifted it up and I go, "Whoa, you're missing something that I don't have." So this is actually sounding more like I'm in first grade because it's a little naive to the lady parts. You know, so I'm like, "You're missing something down there." And I've got something. One of us is messed up. One of us is screwed up physically. Or we're just kind of like checking each other out, you know, doing nothing weird. Come on, guys, let's not be perverted, but it was nothing weird. It was just like kids being dumb, being naive. I won't say dumb and not, trying to figure everything out. And I hear footsteps coming down the hall. There's this decently long hall, like, I don't know, 10 feet or so. I hear footsteps coming down. And it's, it's I want to say it was my mom first. Oh, man, spoiler alert. So I think it was my mom first, and she was like, "Hey, dinner's ready, or dinner's about to be ready in about 5 minutes, blah, 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 blah. Hurry up and come down and get some corn and roast beef or whatever," right? And I'm thinking, Mom, already got the roast beef. No, I'm just kidding. That was really bad. So anyway, she leaves, right? And she closes the door, like completely closes it. And this comes in play a little bit later, but completely closes the door and leaves. Well, we're like, okay, well, dinner's ready, but I mean, it's about to be ready. We got 5 minutes, right? They'll shout at us when it's about to be ready. So we continue our exploration of this new thing that's going on, and we're like, "Oh, this is what adults do. This is so cool. We're just like laying here. It's the middle of the day. Adults are awesome, right?" Well, 5 minutes goes by of us just sitting there chatting and BSing, just as naive as can be, and my dad walks in. Like, literally didn't even hear footsteps, just walks in. He's like, "Hey, Andrew," that's my first name, hold on, let's just reverse that. "Hey, Mongo," let's just pretend he called me that back then. "Hey, Mongo, dinner's ready. Go ahead and, go and come on out. Let's play, let's eat." Not play, he didn't say play. "Let's eat." "All right, cool, Dad, right on." So we get out and we get dressed, and all is well in the world, and I go eat, and she goes home, and, whatever. Side note, I met this woman again back, I don't know, when I was like 16 or something like that, and that woman is going to be, is now, I'm sure, probably one of the top 10 hottest women of my entire life, but that's a side note. So anyway, I go eat dinner, whatever. The rest of my life presumes on. Now let's do a little fast forward. Can I make a fast forward noise? I don't know if I can do that. Boop. Okay, that's fast forwarding. So I'm hanging out with my parents, I don't know, 2-3 years ago, and this happened to get brought up. This girl, Missy, that was her name, Missy, happened to get brought up, and I was like, oh man, I've really got something to tell you guys this, because it didn't really dawn on me what had happened until, I don't know, it was like 16, 17, 18, maybe even later. And we were talking about that family, and my older sister was like, "Oh yeah, I talked to Christina," which was the older sister that she was friends with, and she's like, "Oh, Missy's doing good, and their family's doing this," and it spawned on this conversation where I was like, "Hey, Dad, hey, you remember like a very long time ago when you kind of like walked in and we were playing house and we were under the bed and all that stuff, blah 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 blah." He's like, "Oh, yeah," for some reason. Okay, yeah, he remembered that. Cool. I was like, "Dad, we were naked under there, like completely naked." He was shocked, had no clue, right? Well, my mom, and she was in the room, and I was about to tell her, and be like, "Hey, Mom, we were naked when you walked in, too." She was like, "Oh, yeah, I knew. My mom knew. She closed the door, and it didn't register, but she closed the door to be like, "Hey, buddy, I know what you're doing. Get dressed. You're being a dirty pervert. Let's go. Come on, dinner time." And I don't think my dad had any idea. It's kind of funny. So anyway, I thought that whole like situation was really awkward. That was like the first time a situation like that ever kind of happened to me. So I don't know. Maybe you guys have something like that. Man, I hope you guys can hear that. My dog is going nuts outside. So yeah, that was kind of my like first. I hate to say it. It sounds really perverted, but that's like my first interaction with a naked female. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's all I got on that subject. If you guys have something crazy or have your first type experience like that without being completely X-rated, you know, kind of dip and dodge the situation and throw it down in the comment section if you want, because I'd love to hear about it. Or if you have any other like weird kind of thing that happened to you or whatever. I thought that was kind of comical, the fact that my dad was so, you know, he was naive in that way to it. So I thought that was kind of cool. Anyway, that's all I got. Yeah, Mongo out. Hey guys, real quick before I go, if you liked what you heard, go and click subscribe at the top. If you like tips and tricks, you may have missed my AN94 select fire on the left. And if you just want to hear me ramble on about awesome stuff in the future of the channel and things I like to do and how to play with me online, go ahead and click the one on the right. And other than that, if you guys like social media, all that good stuff, that sneaky stuff where I'm hiding is down below. I appreciate you guys listening. Mongo out.